welcome back to another Blue Hearts Craft Catch-Up. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry that this video is a day late. I was going to record it on Thursday as I normally do, but we've had some work going on in the house, which has been quite noisy, so I've not been able to film anywhere quiet in the house. So yeah, thought I'll do it on a Saturday when I've got a bit of peace and quiet, get up early in the morning and record it. So that's what I have done today. I've got a busy day, going out doing a few things, but I thought I'd get on and show you what I've been up to. Now, it has been 2 weeks since my last episode, not intentional, just life got caught up with me last week, and before I knew it, it was Sunday and I'd realised I was getting closer to when I should have been doing the next craft catch-up than the one I'd missed. So I decided to leave it so that I had some things to show you. And I do have a few finished objects, so feeling very proud of that. One has been finished for about a month and a half, but I've not been able to show you because I didn't have sock blockers at the time, and I wanted to do the project justice and showing them off without the blockers. You wouldn't have seen how beautiful the pattern can be. So yeah, let's get on to the craft catch-up. So it's been a weird couple of weeks and it is skewed with my crafting, so yeah, but I'll explain all as I go why certain things have took priority and why things have been done a bit quicker than others. But the first thing I'm going to show you is my long overdue collar socks. Now, these were my January prompt for Denise of Dear Designs Year of the Sock 2023. Now, these were my January socks. So the prompt was Snowdrop, which is a white flower with a green stem. Now, there's no way I was making pure white socks because they will not stay beautifully white for a while. So I didn't want to do them all white. I don't mind a bit of white in it, but didn't want to do them all white, so I decided to do them all green, as I had green in my stash. So what I actually did was the Collins socks. Now, these are from the Bridgerton Season 2 sock set. You can buy the pattern individually, I believe. I bought it as the ebook where you get the Season 2 socks. And look at the pattern on that. Isn't it gorgeous? Sorry, I hide my face so it focuses on that. Yeah, so that was what I got working on. Really enjoyed doing these. The pattern is lovely and I am slowly working my way through the ebook. So yeah, so it's like that on one side. On the inside of the foot it is just plain ribbon, and I have left one off the sock blocker to sort of show you how it looks on the front. It's so pretty. I really love how it's come out. It is a paid for pattern, as I said, but it is really good, very detailed. It's charted and written instructions, so it depends on what you want. It is a toe, it's a cuff down sock. Now, I did switch up the heel. I did the shadow wrap heel and it calls for a heel flap and gusset. I used a 2.5mm hook, and the yarn I used, forgot to do this early, is get up my notes. So the colour I used was the Drops Fable yarn in the colourway Apple Green, but yeah, 2.5mm hook. So this pattern, like all patterns I talk about, will be listed down in the description box with any links I can find as to where I've got them from. I bought them on Ravelry. And my second finished object is also another pair of socks. Now, these I am not as happy with as the Collins socks, and that is not down to the pattern. One, it is down to me not getting making it a bit short on the foot. I should have maybe done a bit longer on the heel, but it will stretch and I'd rather be too small than too big. And two, I'm not 100% fan of the yarn. It's really getting a halo on it after you start working with it, and yeah, it's not like a halo when it was in the ball and how it came. It's when as you start working with the yarn, the bit you've worked with halos up. Sorry, I can hear the dogs getting up to no good. He is. He was off. So as I said, yeah, it's me not doing enough on the foot, and then also the yarn is why I'm not 100% in love with it. The pattern is great, really like the pattern, and I would do it again. So this is the sock. As you can see, the heel's sort of slipping down, but look at the pattern on there. Isn't it beautiful? Again, this is part of the Bridgerton season 2 sock set, and this was for, again, Denise's year of the sock make along. This is the first pair of socks I've got finished within the month. Actually no, I believe I got the February ones finished on the last day, but I forgot to post them. These I did post. I posted in that half an hour after midnight, but that's because I had the pictures on my phone, I just forgot to post, so I'm hoping that's okay. Anyway, yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. The patterns are designed by Twin Set and Pearl, and I just love them. I think they are so pretty, but yeah, as I said, the yarn is really halo-y. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, again, it was a cuff down sock, and I just switch out the heel to make a shadow wrap heel, as I find they fit me better than heel flap and gussets. When I make the foot the right size, but they'll stretch, it'll be fine. And the sock blockers I'm using, so I bought these, my sock blockers broke, so I went and had a little look on eBay and found these are wooden ones, so obviously better than plastic to be using all the time. I know they're reusable, but you know what I mean. It's better for the environment, plastic, if they break and you have to keep replacing them or something like that. And it was from a small business, so I will leave them down in the description box. They are good quality, but when I ordered them, they literally came in the last day as expected. You know, the delivery window, it was the last day for me. So yeah, you know what, it's like when you want to have something, when you buy something, you want it there and then. But yeah, it's just because the postage, it was not like, you know, the quick postage like Royal Mail 48 or something like that. It was like second class, so just does take a bit longer. But again, I know it did say in the description and that, so yeah. So they're my 2 sock finishes, and we've got one more surprise finish. So the other week I was working on my niece's jumper, and I was about a fifth of the way up the sleeve, and for some reason I managed to get the rest of the sleeve done all in one day, and I was like, what? I can't believe it. So a few days later, I know me and my mum were planning over to go over and see my older sister and my nieces. So I went, right, okay, that's it. These are getting sewn up and they are getting gifted to the girls. So I spent 2 days sewing them up. One did need the sleeve finishing off a little bit, like attaching, the smaller size, and then the older one, it needed the back and the front sewn up together. It needed the sleeves adding, the sleeves needed sewing up, and it needed the neckband on. So that did take a couple of days to do them. So that did really sidetrack me, and ordinarily I'd have just gone, okay, I've worked, because I plan my crafting to work on a different project each day, and I thought, right, okay, you know what, rather than leaving it till next week, I want to get it done now and just get rid of the tracker, you know, sort of thing, get rid of the routine, just work on them consecutively, get them done, and then that's it. You can give them to the girls, and the girls absolutely loved it. They loved their little jumpers. My nieces are the most knit-worthy girls that I ever know. They love everything you make. So yeah, so the jumpers are from the Serdar Kids Brights. Now I will say the instructions aren't the clearest. There was times where I was like, right, okay, it was saying decrease at the end of each row, and sorry, yeah, it said something like that, but I did it first, and then I realised, hang on, my stitch count isn't what it's supposed to be, so I had to then frog it back because I realised it meant at the start and the end of each row. So yeah, that's what I mean by it wasn't very clear in that direction, but you know what? They are cute. I used a 4mm needle and Stylecraft Special DK in Matador, which was the red, Jaffa the orange, Citron the yellow, Grass Green the green, Proper Purple the purple. I used paint box yarns in Misty Grey for the grey bits, and then it was a Home and Bargain yarn for the blue. And I have realised that I forgot to say that these were made in Drop Snored in shade 81. yeah, I forgot to say that. To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of how that's turned out. I've used the drop snowed for heels before and that's not been an issue. So I don't know whether it's that. But yeah, I used 2 different balls. I used one ball for one and one ball for the other, rather than separating one ball into 2. I just decided to do that. And yeah, both came out the same, so I do think it is how the yarn's supposed to be, but it's not something that I'm in love with. But hey ho. So yeah, that is all done. It's all been gifted, and that is one of the things I wanted to finish. I did not do a make 9 this year, I did a finish 9, and that was one of the things on there. So made up, I've got it done, and that is all of my FOs. But I had a surprise FO. I wasn't expecting to have that done, but yeah, it got done and I am made up with it. So onto my whips now. My first whip is the 10 stitch blanket. That's the crochet version. There is a knitted version, there is a Tunisian crochet version, and there is just a regular crochet version. I'm doing the regular crochet, and it's to use my minis that I get from my Yarny Corner, the Patreon. And yeah, I'm just putting them in on the order that they arrive in, so I'm not picking colours that go next to each other. So I believe that was October, November, so this is December's I'm on. So I've got January, February, and I want to say I've got March. Yeah, I've got March, so I'll be getting April soon, so at least I've got well, I was halfway until I'll be getting April's. Not that I'm complaining about yarn coming in the mail. But yeah, this has had a lot of love, and the reason is normally when I'm going into work and coming home from work, I read on the bus. I find that's a lot easier than trying to find a project that's portable, working on a portable project and getting focused on most of a portable project. And that just primarily getting a lot of love. So I normally read. That's the easiest for me. It's just easy to stick a book in my bag, and it's, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I normally read going in and out of work, and then when I normally read before bed, craft before bed now. So sometimes I read books, sometimes it's magazines, but for the past couple of weeks my dad has been off work. He's had a bit of time off work, and he has been so kind and generous to give me a lift in. I want to say I've not asked for one, he's offered each one, so I'm very, very lucky. I do have the world's greatest dad, just saying. Yeah, so he's been offering to give me a lift into work, because with me getting into work, it takes around an hour, depending on the time of day, to get the bus there and back. It takes 15 minutes walking from the bus stop to my place of work, and I like to get there at the bus stop here 15 minutes earlier, just because sometimes buses can be a bit late, so I like to have that 15 minutes of potentially getting an earlier bus. Yeah, so it takes an hour and a half total usually from the time I'm getting to the bus stop to the time I'm getting into work. Sometimes a little bit less. When my dad drives me, it takes 45 minutes, and he drops me right outside the door from work. So yeah, I've been very lucky. I've not turned down a single lift, I will say that now. But obviously I can't read while I'm in the car with him. That is very rude. So I have literally just kept this project in my dad's car and been working on it, and that's where it's been getting all its love. So here we are. I have got a lot done. I also did work on it in the little vlog I did when I did on the craft, where we went where we went to the Stitching Public event. So I started here, and what you do is you go down, then round, then up, then I joined them. This was when I was running out. Now what I do is I keep going up until I've run out of yarn, and then I count back 8 full rows that I've managed to do, frog that, and that's when I start adding the colour in. And I'll do one row of the new colour, then one row of the older colour, and I'll keep going like that. And that one's not that easy to see. I think this one's easier to see down here. Just do one row and fade it in, sort of thing. And that's how I've been doing it. So yeah, I just basically frog back 8 rows and carry on doing it. So that's how I add new colours in. So it said go round there, round, then up, add a new colour in, round on the outside, round here, add a new colour in, and I'm going round again. So the idea is it is only 10 stitches long. I'm doing 20 stitches because I am using a finger and weight yarn and a 2.5mm hook, but it is a free pattern. And so is the knit version and the Tunisian crochet version. So it's a really good one. I'd highly recommend it. And it is great, especially, sorry, keep an eye on the dogs. It's great, especially like to make a blanket. If you don't know, if you want to make a blanket up until you've finished using all the yarn, that's a great way to do it. Or, you know, if you don't know how big you want to make it, you just keep going until it's the size you want. It's a really good one. I like blanket projects that go around and keep expanding that way. So that has been my crochet project that I've been working on. The next one is another cowl entry, and this is for Judy's Judy at Witch Piece Crafts Yarn Vacation AU. So the last time you saw me, I was on that silvery one there. Now what we are doing, we get two destinations per month. Now they can vary. They can be a city or a region of a country, or they can be just a whole country in general. So we had where Judy's from, her town, then we had Lancashire, then we had the whole of Ireland, Republic and Northern, so 2 countries technically. Then we had Barcelona, which again just city. Then we had Greece. Then we had Rome, and this is where I've started adding on. So I did the blue and the beige, not the beige, the like peachy terracotta-y sort of shade for Rome, and I was inspired by a hospital in Rome. I'll put the name, Fantabelli or something like that. Basically, they came up with something called Syndrome X. I'll try and put a link in the description box about what I'm talking about, so it doesn't make, if you want to do a bit more reading. I saw a documentary on it on Holocaust Memorial Day. I can't remember whether it's this year or last year. And it was basically this hospital in Rome created this fake syndrome that was highly contagious. And all their patients who were Jewish happened to have it so that Nazis couldn't go in and get them. And so I loved that little story of resistance. And so the walls are that colour on some of the pictures that I saw of the outside of the building, and it's also on a small island in a river in Rome, so that's what the blue's for. Then next we did France. So again, whole country, but I went to France. I went to the Normandy beaches, the D-Day landing beaches. When I was in university, we did a trip up there, and that trip has always stuck with me. Some of the sights I've seen there that I'll never forget. And the green was for this cliff top that we were on, and you just saw all these craters still there to this day that have marred the landscape, and they were absolutely humongous. And so the sight of that was something that will always stick with me. So I did the green for that, for the grass. And I'll try and put a bit of a picture. I'm trying to see where the dogs are because they have gone wander about and I don't know where. Then I have done a cream, very light cream. And that was because we went to the American cemetery. The British cemetery for northern France is in Brittany, so not actually too close where we are. Whereas the American cemetery is overlooking one of the Normandy beaches. And it was the beach we went to because it's the most like what it was on the day of the D-Day landings. So yeah, we went to the cemetery. I was 23 at the time. I was a few months short of my 24th birthday, and I just remember looking and just seeing these graves for, honestly, it just seemed to be going on forever. And the tour guide said that the average age of the people here was 24, and that, just hearing that, getting told that fact, that is just a memory that is so vivid in my head and it sticks with me. So that's what I did the cream for. I have had a look at what the next country is, and it's going to be Peru. I'm very excited to do Peru. I'm getting inspired by historical events or historical places in all these different areas. So I'm very excited to see what Peru's got to offer, and learning about the history there. That is something that's going to be so interesting to me. Yeah, it's not something I've done a lot of research about, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm doing the paint Paint Pan Cowl. It is a paid for pattern. I've made it a few blocks wider just so I'd be able to get around the full needles, because I think I was like 2 blocks away from not needing to do magic loop, so I've done that. And yeah, I'm just using random colours to go in everywhere. That's a DK colour. The main colour is Stylecraft Special DK in the colourway Graphite. So I'm really enjoying that. It is paid for pattern, I think I said that. And I'm working on 4mm needles. So yeah, it's working out. I don't know whether I'm going to just do it until we've done all the countries, or whether I'm going to just keep finding places. I may put like viewer selection of, like, you know, people tell me where you from, and, you know, learn about them countries, then add on from there. I don't know, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it, absolutely loving it, and yeah, getting to do it. And other than that, the only other project I've been working on is my friend's blanket. I am on the final border of that now, so fingers crossed that should be done soon. Dog's like staring up at me and like wanting all the attention right now. So yeah, if you can't tell. So I'm gonna go. Let me know what you've been working on down in the description box below. Has there been one project that you've just really been close to finishing and you've been like, that's it, I am going for it, like I was with the jumpers for the girls? Or have you just been flipping between projects? Let me know down in the comment box below. I always love hearing about what you've all been up to. Yeah, and take care, stay safe, and I will speak to you all on Monday. Bye.